Now we're going to create an adjustable pulley bracket. We'll use the extrude command to create the overall shape of the part, and then we'll use the extruded cut command to cut one of the holes. Once we've done that, we'll use the linear pattern command to create the pattern of holes. Start by creating a new part. And then create a sketch on the top default plane. Now draw a circle centered on the origin of the sketch. And then set the diameter of the circle to 2 inches. One thing you should try to do when you draw a sketch is to break the sketch down into smaller pieces. Fully define what you've drawn, and then continue drawing new geometry. We've drawn the circle and added the dimension which fully defined the sketch. Now we're going to continue drawing the sketch. Draw a line from the center of the circle to the left. Change the line to a construction line, and then set the length of the line to 10 inches. Now draw a circle on the end of the construction line. Another thing you should try to do is reduce the number of dimensions on your sketches. This will help reduce the clutter on your sketches and make it easier to read. You'll also find that reducing the number of dimensions on your sketches will make them easier to edit. The diameter of the second circle is going to be 2 inches, but instead of adding this dimension, we're going to add an equal relation to the circles. Click the second circle to highlight it, and then hold the Control key down while you select the first circle. This highlights both circles and adds them to the Property Manager. Notice that the default name for circles is arc. Arc 1 is the first circle, and arc 2 is the second circle. Click the equal relation, and now the diameters of the circles are the same. Also notice that the sketch is fully defined. Type the Escape key to close the Property Manager. Now type the L key to evoke the line command, and then draw a line from the top quadrant of the first circle to the top quadrant of the second circle. Instead of typing the Escape key to exit line mode, type the L key again. This exits line mode, and now if you type the L key again, you're back in line mode ready to draw a new line. Draw a line from the bottom quadrant of the second circle to the bottom quadrant of the first circle. Now exit line mode. The next step is to trim the circles to the line. Click the Trim Entities command. And now you're going to use your pointer like an eraser. Place your pointer outside the circle and then hold your left mouse button down while you drag your pointer across the circle. This trims the circle to the adjacent lines. Continue this process for all quadrants of the circles. Type the Escape key to end the command, and now we've created a sketch for the overall shape of the part. The sketch is fully defined, so now we're ready to extrude the profile. Exit the sketch, and then click the Extrude command. Change the thickness to 125,000ths of an inch, and then apply the operation by typing the Enter key. Creating the overall shape of the part is a fundamental step in most cases. As you'll see later in the course, even when parts are more complex, you'll find that you'll need to create the overall shape of the part first. Once you've done that, you cut away from the part to finish it. Now that we've created the overall shape of the bracket, we're going to cut a couple of holes in it. Click the Sketch command, and then click the top surface of the bracket. This creates a sketch on the top surface of the bracket. Left-click on the sketch in the Feature Manager, and then click the Normal View. Draw a circle on the origin, and then draw a circle on the center of the left arc. Pass your pointer over the arc to highlight it, and then move your pointer over the center of the arc. Now you can create a hard snap to the center of the arc. The left circle is already highlighted. Hold the Control key down and then click the circle on the right to highlight both circles. Now add an equal relation to the circles. Once you've done that, set the diameter of the circle on the right to 330 thousandths of an inch. Notice the similarities between this sketch and the first sketch. They both have two circles, the circles are equal, and the circle on the right has a dimension that controls the size of both circles. Generally speaking, you should adopt a drawing style that's consistent throughout the parts you create. This will make it easier for you and others to edit your parts, and it really doesn't take much effort. If you recognize that you're drawing a sketch that's similar to another sketch on the part, try to use the same methods to fully define the sketch. Quite often, design parameters and requirements control how sketches are defined, and when they do, you'll find that it helps when you keep your sketches consistent. That said, exit the sketch, and then click the Extruded Cut command. Set the view to the isometric view, and now you can see a preview of the cut operation. By default, the end condition of the cut is blind, and since the last operation was an 1/8 inch extrusion, the depth of the cut is set to 1/8 of an inch. Now let's say that sometime in the future we need to change the thickness of this part. It's 1/8 of an inch now, and let's say that we need to change the thickness to 135 thousandths of an inch. If we leave the cut operation set to 1/8 of an inch, the cut won't go all the way through the part. So a better option for this operation is the through all option. This way, no matter how thick the part is, the holes will always pass all the way through it. For this lesson, start with the end condition set to blind and the depth set to 1/8 of an inch. Apply these settings, and as you can see, the holes pass through the part. Now let's modify the thickness of the first extrusion. Left-click the extrusion and then select the Edit Feature command. Now change the thickness to 135 thousandths of an inch. Type the Enter key to apply your changes. Now you can see that the holes don't pass through the part. Edit the second extrusion. Change the end condition to through all, and then apply your changes by typing the Enter key. Now the holes pass through the part no matter how thick it is. Now change the thickness of the part back to 125 thousandths of an inch. Once you've done that, save the file under the name Adjustable Bracket. Now we're going to add an array of holes. We'll do this in the next lesson.